want to say thanks to the people who are at the back of the crowd and are doing the leafleting, because a lot of people pass through the middle of Bristol here, and this is a natural place where, you know, political rallies, peace rallies and all sorts take place. Here on the centre, as you know, Bristol Palestine Alliance does almost fortnightly marches, often from Castle Park, often from College Green, and be glad to live in Bristol, the city that it does stand on the right side of history. 4 brave people who pulled down the Colston statue and started a decolonisation process here in our city, and there is so much happening. While people are struggling with their phones, I took the PA system down to the Barclays picket on Wednesday. It was very, very successful. I mean, they kept it up for sort of 2 or 3 hours.
3 hours.
Virtually totally blocking the door into the bank. The windows had got broken by somebody on the night. We have no idea who that was. So they were real shamefaced on Wednesday. Disraeli, the local sort of rapper, Bristol's equivalent of Loki, came along and did a really stirred up. Everybody was amazing. People were making speeches. And I was handing out leaflets, and a woman came past and she sort of stopped and went, "Ugh," and she grabbed my arm and she said, "Me and my husband, we live in Torquay. We think we're the only people who care about what's going on. We shout at the television set all the time." She said, "I was doing a bus trip back from somewhere and I had to change to get to the railway station. I just happened to be walking through the middle of the shopping centre here, and wow, there's this enormous protest going on in the middle of town." She said, "I am so happy. You have made my day, if not my life." All right.
Oh my God.
The Red Notet Choir. Yeah.
Oh my God, they're gonna start singing now. Jesus Christ.
We shall overcome.
Oh my God.
We shall overcome.
Oh my God, can you hear that?
We shall overcome someday.
Jesus Christ.
Deep in my heart, I do believe.
Western imperialism in the Middle East. You know, Israel has been funded by the U.S. continues to be funded by the U.S., by the UK. Our taxpayer dollars are going to a genocide. We should not be standing for this. We must be going.
No, thanks, mate.
What's next for the Palestine movement? We've been out here protesting for months. We have been writing to our MPs. Who here has written to their MP? Who's gotten a response?
Trying to give me a leaflet.
Oh, what response did you get? Exactly. That is the response we will keep receiving from these politicians, because politics runs on profit. We must kick out profit out of politics. How do we do that? Well, I say start unionizing. If you're not part of a union, join one. Our political demands must be linked with our economic one. The struggle of workers here is the same as the struggle of workers internationally. And if you agree with us, then you should get involved with the International Marxist Tendency here in Britain. We are founding the Revolutionary Communist Party in May. We are forming an organization to overthrow the capitalist system, and because that is the only way that we will end this genocide. As long as we have oil companies and weapons companies. Yes, I do think that is the only way, because take a look, 30,000 people are dead.
And so children must die because why? If you hold your fucking
people were contributions were being taken, you can stand up and take a contribution afterwards.
Well, No, it's a terrorist fucking fault for hiding under the fucking children.
The subject of communism is absolutely linked to Palestine because the oppression in Palestine is very much linked to the oppression we all experience under capitalism. There's what, some 500 million pounds of oil off the coast of Palestine? You think that's not a factor in why Israel continues to bomb Palestine and why the US
So child death.
You think the interests of the Western
Yes, they are.
imperialists of the
You
West
find that
are
acceptable?
not linked to the
Under all
continued
these fucking
suppression
people
of the
killing,
Palestinian
and they
region.
went fucking
We
killing
are
innocent
plummeting
fucking
towards regional
people as
peace.
well.
Murdering children is okay then.
Why doesn't Hamas just surrender and give the hostages back?
Yeah, they should do, but the,
Wouldn't that just
But
solve
why
the
don't
problem?
but the civilians are not responsible for Hamas.
Oh, come on.
No,
they're
They're on
not.
their side.
No,
They're
you
all on their
fucking
side.
two Hamas.
Only
Another
30% of
fucking
people
three
vote. Wait a minute,
fucking
30% of people voted for Hamas.
Fucking
That's
Are
all
you
they have to
responsible
do.
for the Conservative
Why,
government?
why don't the
Yeah, because I
Palestinians?
voted for him.
Well, the rest of us didn't.
Well,
why-
that's your fault.
Why don't the
That's not my
Palestinians
fault.
get on the streets of Gaza?
Palestinians are not
I'm
responsible.
Palestinian. I
So
need to
why-
return back to
why-
my home. This is
why
was my
don't-
home.
Yeah,
And where I
why-
can sit here.
Palestinians are
Can you
not
tell me where?
responsible for Hamas.
Where I
and
can-
we're not responsible
Where I
for
can
the UK
return?
government.
I need to
never-
return. Tell me where can I
No, we're
return?
not.
Can you tell me where I can return?
I'll tell
Where
you
is
where you can
return at?
return. I'll tell you where you can return.
Wait a minute.
You can return to all of your land if you want to give up your fucking terrorists.
Fucking terrorists.
If you was
We
to
have the
give
right
up-
to resist
Wait
any
a minute.
fucking terrorist.
You're
And Israel are not terrorists because they're killing children. Child murders are okay, are they? The deaths of thousands of
Don't shout at me,
children.
mate.
Children.
Don't shout at me.
Oh, you're okay with child murder?
I'm not shouting.
You're with Satanists and child murderers, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm not shouting.
Thank you very
Well,
much.
you can live with your shame supporting child murders.
Sorry?
What kind of a man are you to support child murder,
I
mass
haven't
murder
said
of
anything,
children?
mate. You were talking to the other guy, not me.
Okay, well that other
You're
guy,
getting me confused with him, are you?
were you supporting him though?
I wasn't supporting. I don't support anybody.
Okay, I'm sorry,
Just
okay.
listening.
Okay, I'm sorry, I
I
thought
had a
you two
little
were
say, but
together.
it's free speech. All I asked you was why doesn't Hamas surrender?
Yes, they should surrender.
Hamas.
And they
And
surrender.
give
How
the
about my,
hostages
how about my
back. But see
town?
what happens.
No, what about me?
I
I'm
don't
from
know.
Jenin. I'm from
Okay,
I don't know how it's all going to work out.
Well, because-
I wish I could see into the future and
because
see
the
what
Palestinians,
happens.
I don't answer your
But
question.
at this moment in time,
This excuse for no Palestinians because to go with Hamas.
I know it's
Hamas want an
happening.
end to the occupation, that's what it
Give
is.
me as an example. I'm from Jenin. I'm from Jenin.
But what I'm asking, what I don't understand this, right? I don't understand.
Yeah, they play
Why?
with us. It's
Because
all
they
about
want an
I
end
know.
to the occupation, and if they
No,
give
what-
up the hostages,
And also-
then we go back to the
Yeah, but it was solved.
Then we go back
It
to
was stop the
occupation.
killing, though, won't it now?
This is nothing
Yes, it
about
would.
Yeah, and then they can talk.
Yes, but why don't the IDF
what
stop
I'm
bombing
saying-
civilians?
What I'm asking is, why can't the Palestinians in Gaza go on the streets to stop Hamas and tell them to give the hostages
Well,
back?
Palestinians have
Palestinian.
Palestinians are
No,
not
no.
represented by
Hamas,
Hamas.
Why would you
Hamas are
kill
attacking Israel.
I'm also a
Hamas is
Marxist.
not attacking Israel.
They are.
Hamas.
If they had the
Hamas.
weapons, they would now.
How about Israel attacking us for
Sorry, can you hear
70
me
But I'm
okay?
asking you why.
How about
I'm asking us a way of stopping it.
why don't you answer my question?
Okay.
How about
I don't
I'm
know.
Palestinian.
So I've been
why
giving
you
offence
ask?
to lots
They
of people
don't.
most of my
I'm
life.
only putting my point across what I think would stop it for now.
And
I
I'm
also
trying
And
to
in the
give you
future,
a
they can
real
talk.
point.
Massacre's got nothing to do with religion.
75 years,
Deep down, it's
man.
about
Yes.
I know. I haven't been around with 75 years.
Hundreds of thousands of deaths over those years.
It's all new to me, all this.
Despite that,
So the,
If
yeah.
in a humanitarian,
members of the family
in a humane aspect,
What would
if
you
you like,
say?
come name the death.
If Britain was being occupied, would we resist? Yes, we would resist.
what's going on.
But in what way would we resist?
I've been on nearly all the protests here. I've been on all the marches here in Bristol, 7 of them I believe so far. I've been in 2 in London. 2 of the main ones. I'm not going tomorrow. Can't afford it.
Really not that
But I go there trying to understand
Yes, yes.
what is happening. There's still a very small minority of people that are going on these marches. Very, very small.
As long as
Compared with
Trying
some Lord of the Rings and
do what you can, I know. That's very
even though I'm Palestinian, but it's really a humane kind of a cause now. Honestly.
That's why.
It's hard to read in this light.
I'm sorry that I overreacted when that guy was justifying.
You're passionate about your beliefs. There's nothing wrong
I'm
with
passionate
that.
about stopping child murder, mass murder of children. Who doesn't care about that? If you don't care about that, you're not a human being, really. And I accept that you weren't part of that. But that man defending child murder is a disgraceful thing. It's a really disgraceful thing. There's no
It's all about
acceptance.
Hamas. That's right. Am I right?
Well, Hamas have murdered. Yes, I do. However, because I say, well, if you listen to me, I say that the large proportion of those suffering, 26,000 children.
Now,
I'm talking about. Well, listen to me. Well, you've interrupted twice and won't listen to the answer. Over 26,000 children have been murdered in the last 3 months by IDF. Those deaths by Hamas are terrible and are terrorism and are wrong. But the Palestinian ordinary people are not responsible for that. And the 26,000 children, Palestinian children, that have paid their price in blood were not responsible for Hamas. And the hundreds of thousands of other Palestinian children, locked up, detained, disabled, diseased, exiled and orphaned, were not responsible for Hamas's policies, but are paying the price of a bloodthirsty IDF regime.
Yeah, I know, but you're not. The problem is,
those like they are children.
You're painting us people as like people are okay about murdering children.
Well, if you're not,
from the river to the sea, Palestinians should be free.
well, some people are okay with it actually.
A lot of
They're not. No,
Because they're paid.
They're
No,
not.
they are okay because they're paid money to be okay.
No, listen, you're not listening.
They are.
He's still living, gonna need some food.
People have problems.
So he's stopping all the convoys.
I'm a
and that
total
ain't
supporter
good.
of freeing Palestine.
Famine and hunger grow by the hour.
But the Free Palestine movement
$1,000
are
for a
not
bag of
making it
flour.
clear, and you haven't made
Those
it clear
still
yet.
living are getting
In any of your
old,
conversations,
starving children who can
just
hardly
did that when I
speak.
asked you. None of these speakers are here
The horseman
saying,
ride. In
you know, we want to free
the
Palestine,
truth
but hey,
can't
guess what?
hide.
Hamas
In
is saying it's free
Palestine,
I
they
didn't call for
exchange
that. I called for a
I
ceasefire.
know, I know.
In Palestine,
Okay,
the
but it's
thunder
not
rolls.
cleared in the Free
From the
Palestine
river to the
movement.
sea,
We want to.
Palestinians should be
Yeah, but no one's
free.
saying it. No one's saying it. No one's saying it. No one's saying it. No one's saying it.
Because the movement
No one is saying it.
well, but hang
So
on a minute, because the
complicated.
movement represents a vast number of different organisations that have different views. It is not a homogenous movement in any
But it
way.
looks like
It is
that.
not.
Make them all
It
lie
is
down
representative of a vast.
in the
All
cold
your
and the
average
rain
ordinary people
below
are
the
saying, and even Americans
They
waking up
could
to it now, is stop the bloodthirst,
I mean, Israel
stop
calls
the
them
willful
the
destruction of
biggest
civilian
democracy in the
In Palestine, we see our
They are for the
shame.
Israelis, the Jewish
In
Israelis.
our
But the
name.
Palestinians can't
From the
vote
river to the
It is, but it doesn't address the fundamental emergency concern of the moment.
was Hamas. And I think that encouraged the
Who
creation
told them to do the things they've done?
to get rid
We
of
have over several hundred thousand in London. In London, we had the biggest protest in history.
They hide the truth. They spin us lies.
You're not
But
my
we
side.
can see with our own eyes. Now's the time. We've got to stand up for Palestine.
We are both
In
humanitarians.
Palestine, the horsemen ride. In Palestine, the truth can't hide. In Palestine, they've stained our souls. In Palestine, the thunder rolls. From the river to the sea, Palestinians should be free. In
People in the movement have
Palestine.
been very clear. Ceasefire now has been the echo throughout the land. A million people in London protested. Ceasefire has been the echo throughout everywhere.
making life
Stop the
difficult
willful
for
destruction of
Palestinians
civilian things
as much as
and
possible.
stop stopping aid trucks getting in there when a quarter of the population are at risk of malnourishment and famine right now, according to the UN, and
But they
starvation.
don't, Palestinians don't want to,
Right.
because it's their land.
So that's all we're saying is allow the aid to get in there.
There's actually a book called 49 Years of Palestine.
Reframing the answer.
So it's,
I keep repeating the question, the
And
answer.
after this, we'll do a quick rundown of all the events to be
Get the
noted
Palestinians in Gaza to get on the streets, protest like you're
They
protesting
can't, they're
here.
dying. What are you talking about? They are dying.
No,
They haven't got food or fuel or
They can't.
anything. They are dying of starvation.
There's thousands of people that could get on the streets there
A
and
quarter
stop
of them are
Hamas,
dying
tell
of
them to
malnourishment
surrender,
and
give
starvation.
their hostages
Sorry,
back,
their
and
buildings
then
are
talk.
destroyed and in rubble. A quarter of them are dying of starvation right now.
Not all of them.
No, 1 in 4 are dying of starvation and malnourishment. How can they protest with that? Be real.
What I'm trying to say,
they are dying and they are surviving a war. They can't go out and
what I'm trying to
protest.
say is the outside world, the outside world,
They could have done it. They could have done it.
world sees the Free Palestinian movement as the same thing as supporting Hamas,
Yeah.
who have been murdering people in
Hamas
Israel.
and
See,
Palestinians
The
are not
majority.
the same.
The majority
I'm saying
think
that's
that.
the majority of people think that.
Yes,
but
because
you're not
Israel
making
wanted
it
to
clear.
think that. Yes, because of the propaganda
You're not
over the
making
years
it.
has
Yeah, well, you have an
conflated the
opportunity
two.
right now to make it
It's not that.
clear and say, not in my name do we support any murder.
Yeah.
First point, number one. But
Well,
that's your point.
I'm not representative of all these people. They've all got different views, haven't they? So that's...
I don't know.
Yes, they do.
Maybe you're handing out leaflets. You might all think the same
Well, my
thing.
leaflet I'm handing out is naming of the dead and remembrance of Palestinians who died.
But you've been here handing out leaflets before for other faiths.
But if you
Yes, I
understand
hand out
how
leaflets promoting a
collectively people view crowds, people you see the Free Palestine movement as also, you know, turning a bit of a blind eye to whatever Hamas methods have been used.
Well, if I tell
and
you the
it's not
truth,
been made clear.
in hundreds of thousands
public.
of people at marches, there are fringe groups that are radical and that have got militant and are pro-Hamas agenda. There
But
are.
it doesn't say on any of the posters, Free
It's true,
Palestine.
but those are a tiny fringe
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
minority, and
Yeah,
the
I know.
large majority are critical of Hamas.
Yeah, but
even
it's not
many
on any of the
Muslims
posters,
are.
is it? It's not on any of the posters.
You don't mention it in your
Palestine,
speeches or anything.
We
Yes,
are
you're
against
right
Hamas.
about that. Yes,
At all, anywhere.
Yeah,
Hamas is never-
that should be more a
Number
vocal
one.
point. Yes.
Hamas is never mentioned.
The distinction between
Yes,
Free
you're right on that.
Palestine and the fact that people think Hamas represent Palestinian
Well,
people,
right,
that
and
they voted them in.
I was upset on one of the marches that one of the speakers, and he didn't represent the others, but he gave a pro-Hamas statement. And I thought that was appalling to me.
Yeah.
But to be fair, that one speaker, and there were about half a dozen of that event, didn't represent the others either. But it should have been stopped. So
Hamas were when they done the attack on Israel, they weren't going to stop, were they? They would have just carried on.
I know people who got
Yes.
killed.
They would have just carried on. And they still would. They still would. So they have
and the Israeli children that live in terror and fear.
There will be another ticket outside Barclays Bank because
I take your point, you're right. The protest could have been more anti-Hamas and more explicit in saying, we are critical of all terrorism and all abuses. And that could have been more, should be more. Let me tell you something. I went to a meeting and it was about, they were talking about Zionist extremism and other things. I made a comment saying there are some political Islamic extremist groups based in Iran. One of them in particular wants to wipe out Israel and that they've got their own agenda. They don't represent all other militant political Islam either. However, the group I said it at, they said to me there's no such group, they don't exist. I was told to because it was a left-wing socialist organisation run by the PSC, and they just won't hear any criticism of any militant groups. Even though the majority of Muslim friends I have will tell me otherwise and say there are extremist Muslim groups.
Answer my question. You know this naming the dead thing, which is happening on Sunday outside the cathedral here.
Yes.
Are any of those going to be the dead of the Israelis that got killed by Hamas?
I mean, this is specifically just remembering Palestinian victims.
Yeah, that's why.
See, that's
Well,
why.
the reason
Exactly.
why
So
is
you're all Hamas's side.
well, let me answer what really
They're still children.
The reason why is that over 98% of the casualties have been Palestinians, and that.
Well, they have in response.
So that is
In
why,
response,
because
In response to like.
yes, but because Israel are disproportionately more powerful, more able to kill more
Well,
Palestinians.
it is, but it
so
doesn't
many
make
more of
it
them are
okay for you to kind of, you know, every
Many of them,
action
and
carries
half
its own
of the
responsibility.
Palestinians are under 18. So in other words, they are children.
They need to wipe out Hamas. That's all Israel want to do
Yes,
is
they
wipe
do.
out Hamas.
But they need to do that without killing
if
children
somebody
in the
comes up to you
process.
and
What's
says,
the purpose of
"How's it
wiping out
going?
Hamas
You're
if you
really,
kill
really hit
half
back."
a million children?
It's a war.
Yeah, but it's not
And like the
logical
guy said
because
before,
they are fueling Hamas. Israel are creating more Hamas because the more children killed, the more extremists there will be that will be fueled by that. If my children were killed by Israel, I might be tempted to join Hamas just for that reason, right? If the more children that Israel killed, then that is going to be a great way for Hamas to use that propaganda.
And the more Israeli kids Hamas kills, and the more Israeli kids
so Israel are fueling as much as Hamas are.
Exactly, they're both doing
They
it.
both are. It's not disagreeing.
And so is America, and so is Britain, and we all wrong.
And the media.
We're trying to get rid of
America
Hamas.
have been more critical recently, and so there has been some movement.
Yeah.
Well, it is harming American reputation everywhere.
On
And
Thursday,
how we
there is
view
a
the
weekly or fortnightly medics.
I take on you, and I do agree with you. There could be more anti-Hamas
I think I've
and
seen that there's going to be
Well, get out there on your speaker and tell everyone then. Get out there and speak.
Well, I've already got up and spoken. I
Well,
gave
speak about
information.
Hamas.
Because people don't know
about
that.
Hamas.
Everybody here, I think everybody does know, and nobody's made any pro-Hamas statements.
Including me, don't know that there's a clear distinction between.
Well, so few people walking past stopped here anyway. So.
None of us are pro-Hamas.
No, we're not.
Yeah, well, no, exactly. But you're not pro-Hamas.
Let the people know
But
that.
it feels like when people get up and talk, they only talk
And on
about Israel
Friday,
bombing people
if you haven't been to Wake
in
the
Palestine,
Tiger,
because it's like 98% more. Yeah,
the
right.
theatre
But
group called
starving.
Boomtown are
But the
putting
very
on a
fact that they're
Palestine
not mentioning the fact which
I'm
was
sorry to say it's
but
probably already
the
sold out,
very
so they
fact
might
that they're
rerun
not
it.
mentioning
But this is
1,200
an
people who were
example
killed. Why
of
people
the
shouting free
progressive
Palestine?
music industry here in Bristol.
And you're shouting
There
free
has been a
Palestine.
whole string, one or
Needs
two
to be
things
addressed.
every
I
week.
think it's because
of
1,200
fundraisers
deaths
for medical aid
against
to
over
Palestinians or other,
25,000
Yeah,
deaths.
but the
and
1,200 came
Bristol has
first.
responded magnificently.
Well, what came first was 70 years
in
ago.
this
That's when it
area.
Yeah, I
began.
know
And I
that.
70
think
years
on
of
Saturday
occupation.
there
I
might
know
be
that.
plans for another
700,000
demonstration
displaced
from Bristol
Palestinians came
Palestine
first.
Yeah, I know.
under the theme of boycott round Broadmead.
That's how it appears.
So there's
But
a
the
whole lot of stuff
It
still in the
appears to people that are not
pipeline.
researching
Yeah, but
study history.
like
Yeah.
95%
Through wars, that's never been solved, has it? It's not going to be solved now through a war. It's got to be solved through talks, yeah?
Yes.
So why did Hamas start a war?
Yeah, it needs to go back to diplomacy, of course.
You were at peace before Hamas attacked Israel, right? Near enough.
Yeah.
Everyone was fairly happy. People swimming in the sea, going on the beaches, kids going to school. They started a war, but they should have been talking.
But they didn't start the occupation. And the
There's a lot of very unhappy Palestinians. Lots of people in prison.
They didn't start the occupation, and how did South Africa overcome the occupation? They overcame it by resistance and by struggle and by getting boycotts and sympathy from the West.
Exactly.
And getting the story and the truth out to Westerners who
They
have
got
power money.
sympathy because they were acting in good
Exactly.
cause.
The truth got spread to the West.
Peaceful
And
protest, Nelson Mandela.
the Western people, when they knew the truth of South Africa and the apartheid, were shocked and appalled what we
exactly.
were
And
unwittingly supporting.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's going. But isn't that the same case with the apartheid?
I
in Israel?
totally agree. I think
So-
Israel should be stopped. I think they're kind of they're being way too
they
greedy.
should stop themselves because no one else is going to, or America should stop them somehow.
They should be stopped. I absolutely agree.
It
No
feels
one
like-
has the right to nick other people's land and imprison them. It's awful.
I'm glad that we were able to have some kind of sensible discussion. I agree
Yeah, it
with
should
you.
happen more. It should happen more. More people.
more with going to the last time we
I've been there. I've been
What
there.
is somebody
I've
to go
been
up to
there.
the big London march and make a speech
I still
there
can't make any
to
sense
say
of it.
a more balanced.
I've been there. I've been to all the
neutral thing.
marches.
You know, but
True in London.
their big speakers are all organised.
I still doesn't make sense to
The
me.
organisation of PSC and the
I can't make sense of it anyway.
They have their stances and their positions.
I wasn't brought up with it, you know. I'm a Bristolian.
Yes.
When I was younger,
But
didn't know
everyone is
nothing
biased,
about it, man.
and so are
Even though
governments. I
we're
can't break
Gaza
into
was.
Westminster and do anything. I can't interrupt.
I know.
Organisation.
But it could be on the posters. It could be on the flyers, couldn't it? I mean, it could maybe be made super clear.
I've seen all that as well.
Yeah, but that's what Palestine was. Not
I know.
for that's what it's like now.
Yeah.
All the illegal settlements. That's what's now between the Gaza. It's what it's
I'm sorry that I got angry.
But that's an ongoing thing for 75 years.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to understand is what's happening now.
Well,
Exactly. Some people will say,
we
I think it
are
happened
not as
on
passionate as the
7th
people
October.
there.
It didn't.
I mean, the Israelis and
You could say
Palestinians.
that
No, yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
Hamas did on the October 7th was all,
They kill each other.
was kind of frustration of resistance
But they also are going to
against what the
it's not just that.
treatment the
They really
Palestinians
are.
had over the last 75 years.
I mean, you know,
Because they can't, for instance, they're all under military law, well, that means that they can't it's impossible for them to get permission to build a house. So they build a house, they get about a fortnight later they'll get a demolition notice, and somebody opts out. They don't put the demolition notice on their house.
I guess for the rest of us, we are more emotionally restrained.
Put it somewhere near, and then they'll come back a week or two later and demolish it.
Fuck the Israels! Fuck the Israels! Fuck the Israels!
And sometimes they do it to a whole village to be able to trade us that money.
I gotta go.
Yeah, me mate. You take care of it. Catch you later. Hey, you going tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
London?
Oh, I'm not sure yet. Maybe, yeah. I might do, yeah.
Okay, have a good one. Be safe. Stay safe. Cheers, mate.